by Emmerson Mnangagwa, specifically to coup-proof actually his presidency. We know that he wants to lead Zimbabwe up to 2030, and we know that there is an arrangement that was made between Emmerson Mnangagwa as well as retired General Chiwenga, that Mnangagwa would lead for 5 years, and then after 5 years over to retired General Chiwenga. That 5 years has passed, and Emmerson Mnangagwa looks set to even go beyond constitutionally prescribed terms, that is 2 terms. That is why his allies, some of them are calling for him to lead up to 2030, with some advancing that he should continue to lead up to 2035. A deal is seemingly have been actually concluded between Sengezo Chabangu as well as the Emmerson Mnangagwa's ZANU-PF, and at the center of this arrangement is none other than Professor Jonathan Moyo. One would have thought he is a sworn enemy of Emmerson Mnangagwa, but this is the very same man who is fighting to help Emmerson Mnangagwa to stay beyond his constitutionally prescribed limit, being also employed as a technician to make sure that this happen. And we are seeing military changes, and the question that comes into play is whether Emmerson Mnangagwa, by doing so, he is safe or not. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So the narrative that is projected by the Barakashis is that the military is safe at the hands of Tafumaneyi as well as Matatu, and I'm sure that is also what is going through the mind of the bedroom of Emmerson Mnangagwa. I think the man that shagged Mnangagwa was none other than Blessed Keza when he came into the political front, specifically confronting Emmerson Mnangagwa, saying all sorts of things, including telling him that he would not see 2030, but rather the 2030 that you will always experience on a daily basis is the one that exists on his watch. We saw Emmerson Mnangagwa beginning to employ presidential programs aimed at trying to appease various groups such as the war veterans, few war veterans being enticed with houses, and some like this secretary for Douglas Mahia being given a vehicle by Zikanandas so that he could actually be used in ZANU-PF rallies to spew venom against Blessed Keza as well as retired General Chiwenga. Now let's go to the question. Does it mean that bringing Matatu to head the military? We know that under normal circumstances, the person who was supposed to take over from Valerio Spanda in the military, in my view, was supposed to be none other than Angela Msenyato. But because he was perceived to be the friend of retired General Chiwenga, and he continued to be loyal to retired General Chiwenga. Remember, this is the man when Robert Gabriel Mugabe had organized for the arrest of retired General Chiwenga when he was coming from China, who sent potential guard military personnel to protect retired General Chiwenga, and they successfully did so, and Chiwenga was not upon his arrival in Zimbabwe. So they have got strong bonds. It's something that Emmerson Mnangagwa feared, especially when Blessed Keza came into the political front discharging venom to Emerson Mnangagwa and pouring cold water to 2030. And as he was speaking, there were actions that were happening on the sidelines. We saw Mnangagwa quickly acting and actually retiring Anselm Senyatwe, replacing him with Matatu, and within a very, very shortest period of time, the very same Emerson Mnangagwa has decided to bring into the fore Walter Tafumaneyi, the man who has been in charge of the Central Intelligence Organization, who created the Forever Associates of Zimbabwe, that is FAS, an instrument that was used to rig elections, and it was chaotic. Maybe this is why Emerson Mnangagwa this time around is preferring to avoid elections and actually to continue as the president without the elections. That is why we are seeing desperate measures to try and mutilate the constitution and do the processes and the procedures that are unconstitutional to keep him in power. But as I have always said, these are obviously tactics for Emerson Mnangagwa to politically survive, as much as reshuffling the military. But I will borrow from what has been put on the public domain by Blessed Keza, that there is a special force. Of course, all these are attempts by Emerson Mnangagwa to divide the military so that he can continue ruling it. But remember, Blessed Keza talked of a special force and even vowed that if 2030 continue to be spoken about and translated into a lawful instrument, then they are going to see the special force coming to the ground and making it a point that they quash the 2030 term extension of Emerson Mnangagwa. So in my view, as much if Emerson Mnangagwa think he is safe and he goes ahead and actually implement 2030 term extension through Parliament, as it has been suggested by Professor Jonathan Moyo through the Breaking Barriers Initiative document, then we may see all hell breaking loose. Remember, I have said that the collapse of Emerson Mnangagwa would not be as a result of another person, but it will be due to his political miscalculations and wrong decisions that he is going to take alongside with his allies. Of course, they are seemingly in charge, they are seemingly powerful, but watch, as Blessed Keza says, Muchana Kiro, which means you will enjoy as you watch the action. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okay, Umhlabane is signing